What's up, everybody? My name is Bunny Husky, and I'm here to anger you on this fine day. That is my goal. Many of us tend to have some opinions about Pokemon Unite, or maybe other games we play as well, that are not universally agreed upon. If you go a step even further than that, some of us may have opinions that most people actually disagree with, which are considered hot takes. I have quite a few of those, and I'm going to share them with you. Please argue with me in the comments about it. If you have some hot takes about the game, also leave them in the comments below, and who knows, I may make a community hot takes series. Now, a hot take is something that literally most people would disagree with. They're not things that are generally good and people just don't talk about a lot and they should agree with. They're things that you believe that other people do not believe. You may not agree with me on these. Honestly, you are not supposed to. That's why they're hot takes. If you have cold takes, I don't want to hear them. I want the hottest, flaming, hottest takes that you have. Oh my god, my cats are starting to fight with each other. Without further ado, here are 5 of Husky's hottest hot takes about the great game of Pokemon Unite. Hot take number 1. Every loss is your fault if you're the best on the team. If you know me, you'll likely know that I am a Blue Lock fan. And if you don't know what that is, basically it's an anime about soccer where the goal of the players' training is to come into their ego and basically develop a confidence about themselves that they are the best, and they will play every game like that. Now, I watched a video recently on Blue Lock, which I'll link below for those potentially interested, where they explain the concept of ego and how it's deeper than we think. The general point is this: with a big ego comes big responsibility. If you believe that you are the best, you are also responsible for those who are the worst. If your job was to carry as the team's best player and you still lost, it's your fault. Every single time. But Husky, my teammate backcapped. And they weren't at the fight, so we were playing a 4-on-5. That can't be my fault. Surface level, yeah, they made a bad play. But a good player sees that bad play and understands that they're the only one who can make up for that bad player's mistakes. Couldn't you have refused to engage? Couldn't you have seen their mistake and positioned yourself around it? Couldn't you have isolated the enemy so they couldn't group up to get all 4 of you? If you start looking at the game like that and review other players' bad plays as opportunities for you to make better decisions, then that's where the ego comes from. But Husky, what if I have an AFK griefer? Still your fault. If there's a different way you should play the game if you're playing with an AFK. If you think you are the best on the team, that AFK is still your responsibility. Hot take number 2. Running a focus band is never throwing. I've seen many players look at a set of items and scoff at focus band on squishy Pokemon, but you know what I say? I scoff right back at them. Focus band is a second life, and it's often used to replace an extra damage item competitively. Pretty much all players run Focus Band on their speedsters rather than an extra damage item and still do insane damage. I think this applies in solo as well. You can't do extra damage with your Wise Glasses if you're KO'd, but you could do some extra damage with your remaining 2 items if you have an extra sustain from Focus Band. So I say it, run Focus Band on Gengar, run it on Mew, run it on Inteleon. Focus Band is the best item in the game because of its universal applicability, and if you can play around it, that's even better. If you know when it's coming up, if you don't lose it at the wrong time, if it's available for the next big team fight, it can literally win you games. It is a get out of jail free card, an entire extra life, and yes, run it on Pikachu. Stop being angry at your team's Pikachu for having Focus Band. They're literally playing at a higher mental capacity than you are. Hot take number 3. Early stacking on supports and defenders is always throwing. We talked about something that's never a throw, Focus Band, and now we're talking about something that I believe is always a throw. Your EXP share support and defender does not have to get early stacks. They should stay by their lane partner at all times and wait for later opportunities to get those stacks instead. Bigger heals don't matter as much until the late game anyway. Chill out, Clefable. It bothers me so much when I walk down the lane, but suddenly my EXP share Umbreon is opposite me stacking, and suddenly I'm not even getting the benefits of the EXP share, so what does it even matter anyway? If you're a true support or defender, defender, your focus should always be your teammates' levels and success rather than your stacks. Husky, it's solo queue, and I'm running EXP share already. I deserve my stacks. No, you don't. Play your Umbreon as an all-rounder then, and then you can go focus on your early game stacks. Otherwise, either let your teammate get their stacks first, prioritize their stacks, or just stay by your teammate, hope for secures, and then win your lane so that you can get your stacks later. Oh, hey, miss. Oh. In my very correct opinion, there's never a good reason to run it down early as someone in that role. And don't worry, I do it too. I think everybody does it, so I get why it's done. But I still think it's a throw 100% of the time. Moon. You just saw my cat's tail in front of the camera. That's what that was. And all the shaking right now, that's her walking between monitors. She's good now. Hot take number 4. Auto attackers in lane are good. This is the one that I think is potentially the hottest take on my entire list. I seriously do think that Cinder, Dragapult, Greninja, Desi, Duraludon, all of them are pretty good in lane. And I hate Guardy and Delphox in lane, by the way. I think you should only ever jungle those things. The way we think about the game tends to be very black and white, especially in the early game. We've been taught that there are right and wrong ways to play, and the right way to play in lane is that you need a good secure on your laners. Since auto attackers don't have that, and they also take a lot of experience to become good, they shouldn't be played in lane. That's the universal take. I say be gone with that mindset and step into the dark side where we have lane Cinderace. So why do I have this opinion? It's a bad opinion. Why do I have it? It kind of goes hand in hand with the previous take I had, and it's because everyone in your games runs it down for stacks, and auto attackers are amazing at preventing that. You have a lot of rip and damage even in the early game, which can be used to prevent stacking and even pick up early KOs. Plus, if you have a lane partner with secure, then you don't even have to worry about securing anyway. Now let me double back and talk about secure for a second. Sure, Greninja doesn't have great lane secure, but who's to say the enemy won't mess up their secures anyway? A true egoist gets that bubble secure. Hot take number 5. Run EXP share on all your laners. This is my favorite hot take, and I've saved it for last for a reason. As we know, EXP share is a broken item, and I think it's even more versatile than people play it. We've seen niche EXP share uses on things like Machamp, Pikachu, Mew, things that can be run in the support role if needed. Well, I think even more Pokemon can run EXP share than we even realize, and I think the secret lies in decent or good lane Pokemon who either evolve early or don't have to evolve at all. Things like Lucario, Sylveon, Zeraora even. If you throw an EXP share on these things, they can be run as a support or tank damage dealer, extra movement speed and HP, and they don't have to worry about getting level locked. If you don't want to run Focus Band, like I said before, run EXP share. I'm quite a kind content creator, so I've actually devised a list of all of the all-rounders, attackers, and speedsters that can and should run EXP share in lane. Here it is. Like, okay, you have a Zeraora in lane with a Desi, and the Zera throws on EXP share. Suddenly you're doing damage and also preventing sacks and also getting Desi leveled up. Insane. And even better when you get Volt Switch Discharge going and suddenly you have a high skill support Zeraora who can grab and pull enemies into your entire team. Support Zera for Worlds! The bottom line is come to the dark side. Not only do we have lane Decidueye, we also have lane EXP share Zeraora with Focus Band. Alright everybody, now that you all hate me and think I must be horrible at the game, I would like to invite you all to subscribe to my channel. I don't always make troll content, sometimes I make good content, sometimes. And again, go ahead and leave some of your own hot takes below and yell at me profusely in the comments. I'm looking forward to hearing your takes. See you all next time, bye! Post bye, miss! Say bye, miss.